Can your past affect your present? And if so, how can you stop it? Hey, this is Fletcher from Deliberate Receiving, where the law of attraction finally makes some freaking sense. And today's reader question comes from Awesome Bobby, who wants to know, how do we shift our thoughts when we find ourselves constantly getting those unwanted thoughts from our past? And how does this affect us in the present? Well, Bobby, I've got news for you. The past doesn't exist. Ooh. Now, I know that you've heard this before. The past doesn't exist, the future doesn't exist, there's only this present moment, and that's where all your power is. And, well, that sounds great, right? But how do you actually apply that in real life? Well, here's how. Realize that the memories that are coming to you from the past are just thoughts that have a certain frequency. And the only way that they can come to you in this reality right now, in this moment right now, is if they match the frequency of what you are vibrating at right now. Now, what does that mean? It means that a memory is going to be inaccessible to you, meaning completely irrelevant to you, unless you have the frequency right now in this moment and you activate it that matches it. Now, that means that you're going to be blocking out certain memories all the time. Otherwise, you would be flooded with all memories that you could possibly have, and you're only going to be remembering things that match you. So if you're remembering things that are not happy memories, that don't feel good, that means that they're only there because you're currently vibrating at a frequency that matches that. Now, what does that really mean in practical terms? Well, let's say that I'm working with a client, and we're trying to unearth the belief that is causing them to have issues in their relationship. So we'll take an event that happened now, and we'll focus on it. We'll get into the feeling of it. And as we activate the feeling of it, we actually activate the vibration, the frequency of that belief. And then, in a very short amount of time, the memories that match that belief will come flooding in. And so they'll have a memory that may seem kind of unrelated, but there's no way that it can be unrelated because the frequencies have to match. And so we'll take a look at the memories that come in and realize that there's a pattern. What do those memories have in common? How did they feel? What were the circumstances? So we're actually gathering more data. So now, if you keep having a memory that you don't like, you have two choices. You can either focus differently, understanding that that memory is only coming in because it matches what you're doing right now. And if you focus differently, the memory will go away. Or if you can't seem to do that, if something seems to be stuck, then step into the memory. Focus on it more. Activate it. Look for what it is trying to tell you, because the only reason it keeps coming up is because it's trying to tell you something. Hey, you've got something stuck in your vibration that you don't want. You're focusing on something subconsciously that you don't want to have, that is not serving you. So as you step into that memory, other memories like it will start to join it. You'll get more and more data. You'll be able to see the patterns. You'll be able to figure out what the belief is that is causing that issue. So for example, you might be thinking of a fight that you had yesterday with your girlfriend. And as you sit there getting into the feeling of it, why you got mad, you can dig down deeper. So, hey, I was mad because I was being yelled at and I was yelling. Well, why were you mad? Well, because she was yelling at me. No, why were you really mad? What is it that you were really feeling in that moment? Well, I was feeling frustrated. I was feeling hurt. I was feeling like she wasn't listening to me. And you know, now that I think of it, my dad used to do the same thing to me. Aha. And so we might uncover, through looking at different memories that come up, the actual core belief, which could be, for example, I'm not worth listening to. I'm not worthy. I'm not valuable enough for people to listen to. And of course, that's an ugly, ugly belief, and it's going to bring up a lot of anger when it gets activated. And so that will also give you an idea of why you got so mad at your girlfriend, really, you know, out of proportion to what was actually happening, because you weren't actually reacting to her, you were reacting to a lifelong belief that had been building and building and building and was ready to be released. So if you have past trauma, and I'm putting that in air quotes because there really is no such thing as the past, it's all happening right now, then the only reason that that keeps coming up is because there's something that still needs to be cleared. But it needs to be cleared now. You need to deal with it now. The beauty of it is, of course, that you have absolute power to deal with it now. You have absolute power to let go of anything. Trust me on this. I've dealt with such huge trauma. You can let go of anything as long as you allow yourself to let go of anything, as long as you decide that you're going to feel differently now. And there is no trauma so big that I've encountered ever that it could not be released right now. You didn't have the tools back then, but you do now, because if you didn't, it wouldn't be coming up now. So how do you get rid of those memories? You don't. You see them for the messengers that they are. You work with them, and once you've cleared whatever they were bringing to your attention, you'll feel better, and the memories will no longer match the new vibration that you've achieved, and they'll go away, and better feeling thoughts and memories will come flooding in. Well, I hope that was helpful to you, my happy, shiny puppies. If you like this video and you'd like to see more stuff like this, then please like it, share it, comment it, do whatever you're inspired to do. And then if you haven't already done so, please head over to Deliberate Receiving and download the completely free Law of Attraction ebook that explains how LOA really works and is completely free of all sarcasm. And I'm lying about the sarcasm.